Assalamu alaikum and a pretty good morning to you all. At the very outset of my speech, I would like to welcome you all the cadets of class 10 of Burishal Cadet College. Cadets, I think you are mentally well and physically sound. You all know that due to the pandemic corona, I am the Saiful Islam Associate Professor of History, decided to take online class. And I expect that you will be with me for the next 80 minutes. So cadets, no more late, no more introduction. First of all, topics. Today's discussion topic, chapter number 2, the independent Bangladesh. Lesson number 2.3, the martial law administration, 1975 to 1990. Cadets, learning outcome, that means here you will learn, here you can express, describe the rise of military rules after 1975, explain the despotic rule of Hussein Muhammad Irshad and impact, describe the March movement in 1990 and reestablishing of democracy, describe the significant socio-economic and cultural development of Bangladesh. Cadets, what you can see on the screen. Yes, I would like to start from there. Then, cadets, the brutal killing of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the great architect of independent war, the great architect of our liberation war, and the father of the nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, along with the 17 members of his family, were brutally killed by the support of the anti-liberation force. When Bangabandhu was proceeding with the ambition of making a modern, operation and corruption-free state with his second revolution program by uniting the nation. I repeat, when Bangabandhu was proceeding with the ambition of making a modern, operation and corruption-free state with his second revolution program by uniting the nation, some conspirators hiding in the country organized the assassination of 15 August with the help of the local and international reactionary groups. Because they understood that Bangabandhu would be successful in actualizing the second revolution program. Because they understood that Bangabandhu would be successful in materializing the second revolution program. They hazed a plot to refer the political direction of the country. They wanted to change the direction of the country. The Pakistani communal ideal was the re-established through the killing. What was the result? The Pakistani communal ideal was re-established through the killing. And the killer wanted to establish the Pakistan communal ideals. So, they killed the father of the nation. And it was the most heinous and anti-human crime. It was the most heinous and anti-human crime. It was the part of the secret conspiracy. Certainly, it was the part of the secret conspiracy. Bangladesh fell into a deep political crisis. After the death of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Bangladesh fell into a deep political crisis after the killing of 15 August. And the day is our national night. The day is our national morning. Critics, you can see on the screen, but you can see the four national leaders. The Sayyid Nazrul Islam, during the time of Liberation War, that means the temporary government, the Mujib government, he was appointed as the vice president. And in absence of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he will act as the president. Then Tajuddin Ahmed, he was the prime minister of temporary government of Mujibnagar government. A.H.M. Mansur Ali, he was the finance minister of Mujibnagar government. And lastly, H.M. Kamrul Jaman, he was the rehabilitation and rehabilitation minister. And the jail killing was the another black stain in the political history of Bangladesh. What I have said, just four natural leaders, they killed. And the aim of those killers was to destroy the success and glory of the armed struggle of 1971. What was the aim? The aim of those killers was to destroy the success and glory of the armed struggle of 1971 and make a vacuum. They wanted to make a vacuum of leadership in the country and restore the ideals of Pakistan. The only view was to make a vacuum and restore the ideal of Pakistan. The one and the same quarter initiated both the killings mission of 15 August and the 3rd November. It was another black stain in the political history of Bangladesh. And this incident accelerated the fall of Mostak government. Careers. After the fall of Mostak government, the regime of Major General Ziaur Rahman. General Ziaur Rahman was a major of the army during the Liberation War. He was the commander of Sector Number 2 under the Mujibnagar government. He was the commander of Sector Number 2 under the Mujibnagar government. After the fall of the Mostak government by a military coup, General Ziaur Rahman was placed under house arrest. Ziaur Rahman made a destructive change made in the foreign policy and politics of Bangladesh during the regime of Ziaur Rahman. As you know, that during the time of our Liberation War, India and Soviet Union was in favor of us, and USA, China, and Middle East was in favor of Pakistan. But after the killing of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, when Ziaur Rahman ascended the throne of Bangladesh, he made his foreign policy and he took the side of the opposite of the Liberation War. That means he took the side of USA, China, and the Middle East. Most of the fundamental principles of the Constitution and the spirit of the War of Liberation were void in that time. Most of the fundamental principles of the Constitution, correct? You know that after liberation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman introduced four fundamental principles in his constitutions. That is democracy, socialism, secularism, and nationalism. According to the spirit of our liberation. And certainly, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman has some plan that why he introduced these four principles. But Ziaur Rahman changed the fundamental principle of the constitution because he wanted to change the spirit of the war of liberation. He wanted to change the spirit of war of liberation. He rehabilitated the anti-liberation force, Rajakar al-Badr al-Shams, and pro-Pakistani persons in the society and the politics. He wanted to rehabilitate the Rajakar al-Badr al-Shams just after 75. And the then President Ziaur Rahman was the initiator of the Black Indemnity Ordinance. It is a Black Indemnity Ordinance. Why? To save the killers of Bangladesh. After the killing of Bangabandhu, during the time of Ziaur Rahman, he initiated the Black Indemnity Ordinance. That is to save the killer of Bangabandhu. He started using religion in politics and all. Very vital things that he started using religion in politics and all. So he tried to make a good relation with Middle East. He gave his own interpretation of nationalism. Friends, you know, according to the spirit of Bengali nationalism, which was started by the movement of language, that means during the time of language movement, Bengali nationalism was introduced, and according to Bengali nationalism, the people of Bangladesh was fought against Pakistan. That means Bangladesh was independent by the spirit of our Bengali nationalism. But he gave his own interpretation of nationalism. And that means he introduced the Bangladeshi nationalism. It's a different system of nationalism. And so he changed the vital principles of our constitution, that means socialism. He initiated 19 points action plan and the concept of Bangladeshi nationalism. During his time, China and Saudi Arabia recognized Bangladesh. The relation with India and Soviet Union became very cold during this time. The policy for building up close tie with the Muslim countries of Middle East was followed with a view to religion in the politics. What I have said just a few minutes before. He took initiative to establish SARC. What is SARC? South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. The full meaning of SARC is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Creates now the rule of Hussein Muhammad Ershad. After the assassination of General Ziaur Rahman, General Hussein Muhammad Ershad occupied the power on 24th March 1982, and he himself declared his martial law state. After the assassination of General Ziaur Rahman, General Hussein Muhammad Ershad occupied the power on 24th March 1982, and he himself declared the chief martial law. Press was deprived Press was deprived. After taking over the power, it dissolved the parliament and withheld the constitution. It dissolved the parliament and withheld the constitution. Movement under the banner of Satya Sangram Parishad started anti-Ershad movement. The people of this country did not like deposing a civilian government through a military coup by General Hussein Muhammad Ershad in 1992. As a result, he faced a violent mass movement in his 9 years long rule. He faced violent march movement in his 9 years long rule. A 15-party alliance under the leadership of the Awami League and 7-party alliance under the leadership of the BNP was formed at the time. This anti-Ershad movement in 1990 is called mass movement. The anti-Ershad movement in 1990 is called mass movement. In this movement, Selim, Delwar, Shahjahan Shiraz, Zainal, Dipali Shaha, Raufin Bushini and some other students were killed in police raid and activities of the government supported. In this movement, Selim, Delwar, Shahjahan Shiraz, Zainal, Dipali Shaha, Raufin Bushini and some other students were killed in police raid. Finally, on the 6th December 1990, General Ershad resigned. The Ershad government followed the most of the policies of the Ziaur Rahman government. The Ershad government followed most of the policy of Ziaur Rahman reign. Now, the election of 1991. In the general election of 1991, the BNP got 140 seats, but they needed 151 seats to form the government. But the occupation political parties came to conclusion that the free and fair election under a partisan government would not possible. So, all the political parties unitedly moved to initiate a caretaker government system for holding a fair election. So, all the political parties unitedly moved to initiate a caretaker government system for holding a fair election. Now, cadets, significance of socio-economic and cultural development of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is poverty-stricken country. The poor were 70% in 1972. The poor were 70% in 1972. The poverty level was reducing the 30% during the last 40 years. Due to the government politics, due to the government policies and collective efforts of labor and farmers, the human development indicators of Bangladesh is now developing. The human development indicator of Bangladesh is now developing. It is now better than that of the South Asian countries like Pakistan, Nepal, and Afghanistan. The present government is working hard to transform this country to a middle income nation. Cadets, remember, the present government is working hard to transform this country to a middle income nation. Bangladesh is in the 3rd position among the garments manufacturing countries of the world in exporting trades. Bangladesh is in the 3rd position among the garments manufacturing countries of the world in exporting trades. The education policy of 2010 The education policy of 2010 has brought about a radical change in the education sector for the first time. I repeat, the education policy of 2010 was brought about a radical change in the education sector for the first time. You also know that. Introducing an assessment system of creative method using information and communication technology in education. The government has various projects such as Food Forward, VGD, VGF, TR, etc. to ensure food safety to the marginal people of the village. Our mother tongue Bangla achieved the status of the International Mother Language Day. We hope that in near future, Bangla will be the official language of the United Nations. The International Mother Language Day, this is a big achievement of our country and the people of Bangladesh. Now the conclusion. It is the martial law prevailed in the country from 15 August 1975 to 6 December 1990, dissolving the constitution of the country. Khandakar Mustaq, Justice Sayan, General Jiaur Rahman, Justice Ahsanuddin, General Ershad assumed power in different times. Keeping the martial law in force, their anti-democratic exercise of powers, snatching the right to inferences, anti-liberation war made the people violent. The protest against the military rules, and after a long struggle, democracy was established in the end. It is the protest against the military rules, and after a long struggle, democracy was established in the end. Now, discussion about the questionnaires. Here you can see on the screen, here is a creative question. First of all, STEM. Then, 4 question is here. Question number A, it is a knowledge type question. Question number B, it is an understanding question. It's also two-part, knowledge and understanding. Question number C, it is also application question, and it has also three-part, knowledge, understanding, and application. And question number 4, it was a higher order question, or higher ability, or deep learning, whatever you say. It has also 4 part, knowledge, understanding, application, and higher order. Here I would like to discuss some questions. Here's what do you know? I would like to read out. Question number 1. What do you know about the martial law administration of 1975 to 1990? What was the system to form political party by Jiaur Rahman? Number 3. What was the result of the parliament election of 1979? Number 4. What is the policy of Jiaur Rahman to rule the country? Write down the foreign policy of Jiaur Rahman. Number 6. How did the next government utilize the religion in politics? How did General Ershad assume the power? What do you know about the 15-party alliance? Question number 9. What do you know about 7-party alliance? Question number 10, the restoration of the journey towards democracy. What do you know about the March movement of 1990? How the democracy was regained? What was the significance of the socio-economic development of Bangladesh? Cadets, before conclude my speech, I would like to say that you all know that whole world is COVID-19 affected. In Bangladesh, now it is a dangerous condition. The whole world is COVID-19 affected. And in Bangladesh, it is dangerous condition. So all the time you should maintain quarantine, wash your hand again and again, don't take cold water and iced tea. Try to make yourself safe and sound. I think Allah will help us. Thank you. Thank you very much.